Can. Should we criticize Obama? Yes, we should. Are you ready? Can we criticize Obama?
Yes, we can.
Should we criticize Obama?
Yes, we should.
Can we criticize Obama?
Yes, we can.
Should we criticize Obama?
Yes, we should.
Thank you. As an African American, much like Cornel West, my criticism of Obama is because I demand more from him. And I'm taking him at his own word. So here is my statement to President Obama. President Obama, in your book, Dreams from My Father, you write against racism, you write against elitism, you write against blind nationalism. You followed in the footsteps of Black American civil rights leaders, civil rights defenders. You indicated that your work as a community organizer in the low-income neighborhoods of New York and Chicago, though grounded in Black American communities, was work you did as part of a global community, work done on the behalf of humanity. Now, Dreams from My Father was first published in 1995, and when you revitalized this book in 2004, you were a rising star. You amazed a global community with your speech at the Democratic National Convention in the US about the audacity of hope. Your words seem rooted in Black liberation theory. You borrowed the progressive sentiments of your former mentor, Reverend Jeremiah Wright, who you now no longer speak to. Now, with the phrase, the audacity of hope, or the audacity to hope, as Jeremiah Wright put it, he's describing a world where hope persists in the face of the ravages of famine, where hope persists against the drumbeat of war, where hope refuses to die in a world growing under strife and deprivation. Wright emphasizes, it is this world, a world where cruise ships throw away more food in a day than residents in poor cities see in a year, where capitalistic greed runs a world in need, a world which cares more about bombs for the enemy than bread for the hungry. Jeremiah Wright points out that it is in this greedy, war-filled world that we live, yet we must be bold enough or audacious enough. We must have the audacity to hope. President Obama, you once understood that hope is a sentiment, often fragile, which must be fed with action. You seemed sincere as you wrote your second book titled The Audacity of Hope. And as you rose to the US presidency, many in Sweden and around the world hoped with you, dreamed with you. Your eloquent, humanizing speeches soothed our ears and warmed our hearts. You made us believe in the possibility that a US president could make positive differences, not defined by some narrow view of American isolationism, but defined instead by the needs of humanity. And you have had some achievements, but I don't want to focus on those, because I'm here to push you beyond your comfort zone. I'm here to push you out of being simply a spokesperson for the American military complex. Because you see, now in 2013, instead of inspiring us to be bold enough or audacious enough to hope, your presidency worries us, angers us, betrays the foundation upon which you stood when you wrote Dreams from My Father and the Audacity of Hope. To your slogan of yes we can, we now answer no we can't trust you to act on the behalf of humanity. Your slogan of hope we can believe in has become a broken promise. If you were to write books reflecting on the past 5 years as a president of the United States, in all honesty, the books could no longer be titled Dreams from My Father and the Audacity of Hope. Instead, they would be called The Betrayal of My Father's Dreams, The Annihilation of Hope. Would that be your legacy? Will that be the legacy of your presidency? Here are a few examples of how you are annihilating, how you are destroying, how you are crushing hope. Hope for humanity was weakened as you accepted the Nobel Peace Prize, then behaved like previous warmongering US presidents. Hope is annihilated as you fail to see that the life of 16-year-old Yemen-American Abdulrahman Anwar al-Awlaki was just as precious as the life of 17-year-old African-American Trayvon Martin, just as precious of the lives of all children and teenagers around the world. Hope is lost as you allow the building of more Israeli settlements in the Palestinian territories. Hope seems abandoned as you have removed troops in Iraq, yet left the country on the verge of civil war. Hope is seriously threatened as you close CIA prisons overseas, yet still hold prisoners in Guantanamo Bay under indefinite detention without formal charges or the possibility of a fair trial. Hope is extinguished as you claim to have only killed dozens, maybe hundreds of legitimate terrorist targets, when in fact, U.S. drone attacks have caused thousands of deaths, including many innocent civilians, especially children. For example, according to a Marine Times article from December 2012, U.S. military drones targeted 3 children in Afghanistan because they appeared to be digging a hole in the road. It is against these atrocities that you now ask us to actually trust that you honestly care about the lives of civilians in Syria? Dreams from My Father and The Audacity of Hope were books you wrote honestly with a lot of soul searching. I now ask you to search your soul, your heart, your intellect, as you ponder the answering to the following 2 questions. Number 1, when children and teens that have arrived, that have survived your drone attacks, when they become adults, what books would they write about you? What stories would they tell? Number 2, if one or both of your daughters were to write a book about you when they become an adult, what will the title be? Nightmares from My Father? As I end this speech, Obama, you only have 3 years left. And if you no longer have the audacity or the courage to make presidential decisions on the behalf of humanity, then please have the decency to give back your Nobel Peace Prize. That's the least you can do. And yes, I can make these demands on you because you placed yourself among the great Black American civil rights and human rights defenders like Fannie Lou Hamer, Thurgood Marshall, Mahalia Jackson, Martin Luther King, and of course Malcolm X, and Jeremiah Wright. And you are the one failing to live up to their legacies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lory. Thank you very, very much. Now we will, och nu ska vi ha Hanna Al-Khamiri från